Right, welcome back to part 3. And I moved the camera and it's gone out of focus. Oh dear. Oh, that's not too bad. Stupid camera. It's moved. It's automatically focusing. I tried manual focusing a while ago and it doesn't work very well. And the autofocus has sent the central thing over to here instead of in the centre, because obviously the way I've got the page set up, it's probably got a few little hips and bips in it. So it's gone here. So we're up to part 18. This is the continuation of part 18 now. And this is part 3 of the bit of the inbox review. So as I was saying, we've got the photo etch probably for these here. And then we've got part 19 where we're coming up to the aircraft. And we've got all the little small guns on the top. Yeah, I think it's the page, the way the page is out of focus. It's not too bad. I could zoom into that, but I won't, so it's gone out of focus up here, unfortunately, because it's focused down there. And if I put that to there, that's focused in the centre. Won't focus the whole page, unfortunately. Oh no, that's not too bad. So on the aircraft, I'd have to look at these and know if this is based on a different battle. I would have to know whether these aircraft are the same at the Battle of Denmark Strait. There's a possibility there might have been a difference in the way it was laid out. I'll have to look at that. Sorry for my arm. And then we've got all these little guns going across in here. And once again, I think a lot of this can probably be replaced with aftermarket. I think a lot of this will be replaced with aftermarket. I think a lot of this, even the aircraft, you might be able to get some aftermarket for. You might be able to make them aircraft look a lot better if they existed on the time of the Denmark Strait, as I say. And then where are we up to? Oops, daisy. Sorry about that. Right, we're up to number 21 and 22, 23. Cranes. Just straightforward flat plastic cranes. There's not really any, well, there's detail in them, but they're not brilliant because they're obviously just solid cranes. And I reckon they can be replaced with photo etch and make them look more like cranes. And then you've got 2 aircraft there. What are them aircraft? GM4 type Betty. GM2 type Betty. Are they? Not sure what they are. Different aircraft for the ones there. Are these UK, these bombers or something that were there? Maybe there's something to do with. Can't see, it just says assembly of Japanese aircraft. Whether I would use them or not, I probably wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't. Might be worth buying and might be worth building and putting on a windowsill somewhere. But I wouldn't, probably wouldn't bother with them. The masts, which once again would be nice if they could be replaced with that material that I've forgotten about. Getting old, mate, forgetting things. They could be replaced with brass, brass rod and what have you. It's always worth seeing if you've got any old brass rod around to try and replace the plastic. Because the worst thing about putting masts up, once you've got 2 masts up, which are of plastic, the horriblest thing about this is when you come to rig them, because if you stretch a bit of rigging across there, it either pulls one in or it pulls the 2 in. It's difficult. So it might be worth keeping the bottom, obviously keeping the bottom of the mast, keeping all the various like starfish and what have you, keeping them, and then when you get up to the actual mast itself, try to see either see if we can get a thin bit of copper to replace that. I've never seen the mast in aftermarket for the Prince of Wales. Certainly with the Bismarck, certainly with HMS Hood, and with the Prince Eugene. You can buy the MK1 kits. They have replacement copper masts, so they are really good. And they are, you might even be able to do it out of a bit of wood doweling. That might even be worth looking into, just for the replacement at the top, just for this top replacement. You might get away with being able to use the plastic bits or reinforce them somehow. I have got some very thin rod, but I don't think that would work. I think these would need completely replacing, so they're more solid. The only other way to do that is the old trick of thinning out a piece of the old sprue, heating it up and pulling it out. So you're not doing, although I've got plenty of rigging thread all around that I used on the Titanic, and I've got some metal beading thread. So I'll have to look on that one and see if I have to think about that one. You see, there's all that rigging, you see, and this is where it gets you. This is, like I say, there's a lot of rigging there, to be fair. There's 1, 2, 3, there's sort of 6 pieces going across the mast, 6 pieces going down, 6 pieces going down, that's 18. Then there's another 6 going down there, 24. And then there's another bit going down there, 25, 26, 27. So it's about 30 pieces of rigging on that. That's a lot of rigging to go between 2 plastic masts and keep it straight. This is what I mean. To keep that straight is extremely difficult. But what I have got, now you see, now this is the ideal thing for doing the you see, what I have got is this. I've got that, and this is beading wire. So that painted black may, you probably can't see that very well, but that, let's see if I can get it down here so you can see it, so you can see it a bit better there. I might, yeah, I might be able to pull that tight between the masts, excuse me, but then again I might not, of course. So those masts need a bit of sorting out. I know this from experience. I know it from the experience of building plastic models and trying to rig masts, plastic masts. It's really hard. And then the stand, well, this will be attached. It won't be on a stand to work on. It will be bolted onto a baseboard. Probably the baseboard that I'm using for the Queen Mary. So I'll bolt that onto there. And that, and then once it's finished, you'll either be bolted onto pedestals, flat bottom. Usually you wouldn't put flat bottom boats on. No, 9 times out of 10 you don't really put them on pedestals and high up stands. You normally have them flat. You normally have them on a I can't remember what it's called. I've got the Titanic on one. You don't normally have them high up on a stand. I wouldn't use that stand. I'd buy some decent pedestals or something. And then we're into the colour codes. I tend, I mean, if you go by there, what's your name, you're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 222, you're going to use 22 colours. Going by the call out. Whether you would use that many is, well, I wouldn't use that many. I don't think you'd use that many. I think once you get building it, you've got the one colour on the hull, which is usually a sort of light to medium grey, and that goes along all the superstructures. Looking down, it would be wooden decks, if I get the wooden decks, and a lot of this stuff looking down. I'll have to check on. I'll find out what the colour call out was when it took part in the Battle of Denmark Strait. Might be slightly different because of the way it's because of how it is. Painting the Prince of Wales. Doesn't really say anything there, but I'd have to check on it and find out what it was. And that might be a different colour scheme. And then we're into the, as we've already shown you, we're on to the various sprues. Not a lot of parts really when you look at it. There's only a few. And once again, colour colour call out, which is completely different to the call out inside. Now then, let's have a look what else we've got. You've already seen that. So the next thing to have a look at are the decals. Let's see if we can get them out of the bag. Right, so we've got a little decal set. That's not too bad. Let's see if I can zoom into that for you. So they're not too bad. They're once again,